Welcome to Planet Microcap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me right now is Dave Offerman. He is the president and CEO of IEH Corporation. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is IEHC. And IEH will be presenting at our upcoming investor conference, the Planet Microcap Showcase Vegas 2025, in partnership with Microcap Club, happening April 22 through 24 at the Paris Hotel and Casino. For more information to register to meet Dave, see his presentation, please visit planetmicrocapshowcase.com. And with that, Dave, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm good, Robert. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you. So, I, me and you, we were just joking offline. I think we've traded however hundreds of emails now over the years and have known each other for a long time. And, now we're finally making it all happen and doing an
Right.
interview. And you were just in the magazine. So, this is great that this is our first time actually doing an interview together. So, we're going to do a kind of quick hitter, give people a general overview, and then, go follow along for more information. So, Dave, for those that don't know the IEH story, can you give us that quick overview and history, and then we'll go from there?
Certainly. So, yeah, again, thank you so much for having me, Robert. It's really a pleasure to be here. And after all these years of corresponding via email and phone, we finally get some, virtual face-to-face time. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person and meeting investors and potential investors at the show in April in Vegas. So, very excited about that. Just to give you the quick, elevator pitch about IEH, we are an electronic components manufacturer. More specifically, we are a PCB connector manufacturer. We make printed circuit board connectors, primarily for defense and commercial aerospace applications. So our big customers, our legacy markets, so to speak, are the big defense contractors, the aerospace integrators. We're in a lot of different, weapons and radars and military systems, a lot of rockets and launch equipment, a lot of avionics equipment. Virtually any plane you step on has our parts on it. What separates us from other connector manufacturers is we have a very specific type of connector technology called hyperboloid, which, I'm not going to get into the technical nitty-gritty of it, but if you go to our website, there's a very good visual kind of description of it. It's a very high-end, ruggedized type of interconnect interface that's ideally suited for high-stress environments. So all the different types of military, commercial aerospace, and space applications that I've mentioned. We also do some in medical, some industrial, but that's kind of our niche. We're an 80-year-old company, 84 years to be exact. And what makes us a little different than some of the other companies in our space and some of the other companies that you might have in a microcap is we're actually family managed, and we're a fourth generation manufacturer. I'm actually the fourth generation myself. My great grandfather, my father's father's father, started the company back in 1941. And we were originally a tool and die maker in support of the war effort during World War II. Went through some different iterations over the years, been a lot of different types of companies over the decades as it's been passed down to different generations. But being a hyperboloid connector manufacturer has basically been what we've been doing really since the 80s. When we got qualified to a mil spec or military specification, started making connectors in support of defense and aerospace applications, and kind of been building on that legacy ever since.
Absolutely. So you hit on my next question already, and really what makes IEH unique and different. But I'll follow up with a different question. I mean, you kind of hit on this, but love to hear kind of even more of the overview. I mean, how did you land on saying, okay, as a company, IEH, we're now going to go down this road and start producing these types of applications for military and defense?
So it's kind of an interesting history. So after the war, we got into consumer electronics, and we were actually at one time in the 50s and 60s making CRT sockets for televisions. You have to be of a certain age to know when or remember when TVs were not flat screens, they were tubes. And we made the sockets that went into these cathode ray tubes for televisions. And we were in that business through the 60s into the 70s. But when that business started to leave the country and supply chains started moving overseas, TV manufacturers and their supporting supply chains started going to places like Japan and Taiwan. We realized we had to get into another line of work. So we bought a license to make the hyperboloid contact and then sat on it for a couple of years trying to figure out what to do with it before finally landing on mil-spec connectors, PCB connectors for defense applications. And because of the nature of the hyperboloid and how good it is for those types of applications, we really kind of found our niche. We found our sweet spot. And that's become the basis of our business really ever since. And we've just been building and growing, on that technology since then.
Absolutely. So, Dave, you said this is a fourth generation family business. You came in, did you come right into the family business, or were you like, I don't know if I really want to get into components just yet. Maybe I might try my hand at something else and then, come back, So
That's pretty much exactly how it
that's what
happened.
happened. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up around the company, obviously, and I worked here, summers, high school, college, that sort of thing, and then went out into the world and try and made my own way for a while doing sales, primarily in like telecom and internet when internet started becoming a big thing in the late 90s. And then finally, caved to the old man and decided to join the company. And I've been with the company full time for a little over 20 years. I joined September 2004 to run sales. And then, over time, as my father got older, started taking a step back, I started moving into more of an executive function and took over officially as president and CEO when he passed away in 2017. So it's been about 8 years now that I've been at the helm.
Absolutely. So, Dave, to close this out here, we have the conference obviously coming up in April. You're going to be there. So for folks that, have been either following IHC or looking to dig a little deeper and follow more, what would you say are, in your opinion, and from what you can tell us, of course, what would you say are the main value catalysts or catalysts to unlock value for IEH in the calendar year 2025?
So this is a very good time for investors to become aware of IEH. We're coming off a few tough years because of COVID, because of the Boeing 737 MAX grounding, different changes in defense spending and our defense posture and what sort of systems and programs are being funded. But now is a very good time because we're kind of on the tail end of a tough few years, getting back into growth mode. And the industries that we traditionally support, defense and commercial aerospace, have very bright immediate and long-term futures now because of everything that's going on in the world. And we all know, about some of the geopolitical tensions happening. That bodes well for a lot of the defense programs that we support. And hopefully, knock on wood, Boeing is on the other side of all of their troubles. And, they have a huge backlog for the jets, specifically the 737 MAX, as well as other jets, which we are a very big part of. They have a big backlog and a very long road ahead for that jet. Airbus is starting to do more. A lot of the demand in the commercial aerospace sector is starting to pick up. So the two primary industries that we've traditionally supported both have very positive, forecasts for the next several years. And in addition to that, we're also taking some very definite concrete steps towards diversifying our customer base, going after more medical, industrial, other applications, so that, we're not so beholden to those two industries and, and how their fortunes might fluctuate. So it's a very good time to become aware of IEH because we're back to growing significantly, and, with a lot of opportunities to accelerate that growth.
Very cool. All right. Well, Dave, we'll leave it there. Where can our audience go and find more information about IEH?
Well, the best is always the website. There's iehcorp.com, so iehcorp.com. I would also certainly encourage people to follow us on LinkedIn. We do a lot of posts. We've been very, very active on social media, talking about the different initiatives, different things we're doing. And then, of course, I will be at your show in April where people can meet me face to face and grill me to their heart's delight.
To their heart's delight. Very good.
So,
Well, Dave, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And
my pleasure.
I will see you in Vegas.
Thanks, Robert. Sounds good. See you soon.